I'm Matt, and this is an instructional video on how to, well, I'm basically just going to talk you through how to make your own peregrine falcon out of a wire armature and some paper mache. First of all, you're going to need some references, okay? So basically what I've got a few different sort of peregrines in flight. So I've got one just about to dive, got a soaring one mid-dive, got a couple of close-ups. Okay, so once you've got all that sorted, just grab them off the internet, whatever you want to do. And then, what you want to do, I made mine to full size, so it's the actual scale of the bird. So then I drew this. So basically, this is actually a sketch, so what my bird's going to look like. Okay, so there you go. And then, what you need, there's wire going all the way around that, so that's what you're going to need. And to actually help you do that, you need to draw out a template like this one here. Okay, so once you've got that template, this is just a bit of paper. What you need to do, fairly simple, just get some wood, any old scrap wood, board, whatever you can find. And once you've basically drawn out your outline, what you need to do is just get some hexagonal chicken wire, like this one. You can get it for about a £5 from any good pet shops. And this is the first stage in creating the armature. So what we're going to do now is literally just stick screws all around that so we can actually get a shape to bend the wire. Alright guys, so what I've done is just stuck some 5x30 screws in, not only just to hold the wire down, but also to actually bend the single wire that we're going to use. And if you've actually noticed, the screws are in the places in which the wire is going to be bent. Okay, and so the screws are going to be for actually bending the wire, and I'm just going to stick the last two in now. Just line it up with the centre line. Stick that in. And also guys, I just choose screws because they're just easier to take out the nails. I mean, it doesn't really have to be screws, it can be nails, or whatever takes your fancy basically. Okay guys, so what you need now is just some wire. This is just some coat hanger wire. Just make sure it's not too thin or too thick. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just basically bend it round, and then there we go. Okay, next step guys, just make sure all your bends are in the correct places. It's really important, otherwise it's going to pain in the bottom. So then what we're going to do is basically just cut round the shape. This is what I'm doing now. Just make sure you leave a good 3 to 4 inches clearance. It's really important because then you're going to actually fold it up together. Right guys, now it's really important that you just actually fold it over the screw like that, okay? So make sure it goes over the screw. So as you can see, I've literally just folded it over the screw so it can fold easier. Okay guys, so what you need to do now is just basically, with the leading edge, you don't need as much clearance, so you only need about 25mm to an inch clearance. Okay, so just going to cut around that. Okay guys, so what I've done now is literally just cut into the corners and then folded them in like you would with a Christmas present. Now what you need to do is just with a hammer, any old hammer, doesn't really matter what hammer, apart from plastic because they do not work. What you need now to do is literally just all the little bits that stick up and the little ones which you can put yourself on and everything. What you need to do now is just literally just bash them down. Doing this little part of the armature, what I need to do now, get your drill driver, set it in reverse, and literally just take all the screws out. Okay? There we go. And that's our basic bird shape. Okay guys, as you can see, we've moved from the workshop into the house, and if you have a look at that, that is fresh from the jig, and as you can see it's got a slight curve to it, and it actually curved, it literally just sprung up by itself as soon as I took it out of the jig. But the thing is, it may not happen with all of you, so you might have to bend it to the sort of position that you want it in. See, the thing is, I was actually basing mine on a sort of diving peregrine, so it's like that. And also, like, I mean, you could usually just do a seagull by just turning it upside down because it has that natural bend in it. Okay, so what we're going to do now, just put that to one side, and then what we're going to actually do, we're going to work on the body, the actual, this part of the body for the peregrine. Okay, so what you need to do, just take any can of your choice. This is just a Caffrey's can. Any can which is bigger than a Coke can is ideal, like Strongbow or whatever. And then what you need to do, just get some more chicken wire like that, available at all good pet shops. And then what you need to do is basically just bend it around the can so it creates a nice sort of tube shape. But don't bend it so much so that these two edges are touching, otherwise it's going to mess it up slightly. Okay? Okay guys, so once you've got that shape there, it should have almost sort of the bottom of a boat sort of shape almost. So this is going to be our main chest area. Now what you want to do, as you can see, if I just get the armature there, it's going to be a little bit on the big side. Okay, so what you need to do is just cut around the sides along here, but not actually damaging any of the actual bending that you've already done. Basically all you're doing, just making it a bit smaller so it can actually fit onto your armature. Okay guys, so now what you've cut the basic body to shape, and now what you need to do, literally just line it up, and then literally just put a bit of pressure around there, and just measure, well not exactly measure, but just have a basic idea of where you're gonna have your body. Okay guys, so what I've done now is stuck the body part of the armature to the main bigger wings and body part of the armature. Now what we're going to do, because it's only temporarily fixed there, we're going to make it more of a fixture by using this wire. Just fine wire, any sort of really fine wire like mains wire, anything you can find, which like fine wire is always good. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're actually going to sort of sew the body part to the armature. Okay, so what we do, just loop that through there, twist that together, like so, just take the rest of it, and then literally just go, just make sure that's in the right place. Like that. Just want to go up like that. Okay guys, so once you've done the sewing on either side, what you can do, just fold the excess bit of wire in and just basically mould a sort of bird shaped head. If you have a reference to the sort of shape of the head, that's really great, and then you can just sort of follow it from that. And also what you can do is just press it in from the outside a bit, just to give the face a bit of a plumpness. Okay, and then what we can do, we can just bend the front of it forward just to give it a bit of a hint. So what I've done now is literally just sewn it all together, and I've actually added I've actually added the basic head shape, and I've also added in a bit of a backplate. The armature finished. Okay, so this is the end of the first part. Part 2 is going to be coming out fairly soon, and then part 2 is actually going to be the covering with all the tissue paper. As you can see, I've just added detail, basically just flattened down a bit of the tail. Don't flatten it too much, otherwise it won't look as good as it could do. And I've literally just added some detail into the head. Okay, and I think it's actually quite important that you get some close-up shots of the head so you know what you're doing. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next part.